Members of the jury, good afternoon. I want to begin by thanking you for the time that you've taken to be here, to sit through evidence and arguments. What you've done is an enormous service, and sincerely, we appreciate it. Now you're here today because Zeta Lambda Nu wanted a party that was out of control. Control has been something you've heard a lot about today. And that's because there were some things that were not within Zeta Lambda Nu's control that night, that the fraternity wasn't responsible for. What Kay Denning did when she was outside of that party, when she was on her own that night, when she was drinking, and we know she was drinking a lot that night. It's not our argument that the fraternity had control over that. But there are some things that the fraternity could control. Basic steps that Zeta Lambda Nu could have taken to keep Kay Denning safe, to prevent her death. But because Zeta Lambda Nu wanted a party that was out of control, Kay Denning lost her life. She fell from a lifeguard chair that was 12 feet high. And she received brain damage from a 2-foot pool, the bottom of which she hit. She was on life support for 6 days. Finally, she was taken off on May 31st, 2014, and passed away. Now, in a few minutes, this case is going to be yours. You've listened to us more than enough. And you're going to go back into the deliberation room, and we hand everything over to you. And at that point, you're going to get a jury verdict form. And it's going to have an important question on it. And so I want to talk to you about how the evidence relates to that question. And that question is, did the negligence of Kay Denning or of Zeta Lambda Nu proximately cause the death of Kay Denning? That really contains two concepts. It's negligence and proximate cause. So let's split those up. Negligence. That's just a failure to use ordinary care. Would an ordinarily prudent person in the same or in similar circumstances, would they have done what Zeta Lambda Nu, what Andrew Dornberg did? We know the answer is of course not. You saw the diagram of the chair that Zeta Lambda Nu built. This isn't an ordinary chair because this wasn't an ordinary party. You heard Mr. Dornberg tell you on the stand today he is serious about having fun, and he was serious when he built that lifeguard chair. It's 12 feet tall. It was twice his height. This party, this chair, the beach, this setup, this is the stuff that Hollywood movies about Greek life are made of. And with an extraordinary party like that, you need extraordinary precautions. A sign, someone guarding that chair, keeping the chair out of the party, period. When you realize it's tall and unstable, and there will be highly intoxicated 18, 19, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds around it. But Zeta Lambda Nu built the chair and then did nothing. That's negligence. Now, did that negligence proximately cause the death of Kay Denning? Yes. Proximate cause is just a cause that could reasonably, foreseeably result in an event. In other words, is that event reasonably foreseeable were it not for that cause? If the cause didn't happen, the event wouldn't have happened. Well, you know the answer to this question, members of the jury, and that's because If the lifeguard chair hadn't been there, Kay Denning wouldn't have lost her life. If the lifeguard chair hadn't been built like it had been built, Kay Denning might still be here today. If Zeta Lambda Nu had warned people to stay off that chair, Kay Denning may never have been hurt in the first place. And so we ask you to consider all of that, to think about this young woman who lost her life and the fraternity that was too busy planning a party that it wanted to be out of control to prevent her death. We ask that you find Zeta Lambda